Hi, my name's Mia Robertson, and I'm the naturopath behind Fem21. I just wanted to do a quick video today to have a chat about hormonal acne. Now, wanted to share some of my experience personally and also professionally with clients that I see in practice. So I just had a client actually just today with bad teenage hormonal acne. So some of the issues that can be associated with acne are related to diet, skincare, of course, hormones, liver, digestive activity, immune and inflammatory control, and also bacterial balance on the skin too can play a part. Now, there's certainly a lot of things that you can do naturally that help to balance your skin. So, sharing from my personal experience to begin with, I suffer with polycystic ovarian syndrome. Not so much anymore, thank goodness, but certainly as a teenager, I had a real issue with my skin and a lot of the symptoms associated with polycystic. Now, I would experience deep cystic acne in this area, the hormonal zone, and they would often take a really long time to heal and be quite sore and can lead to scarring too. And also experienced acne through the liver zone and also in the digestive intestinal zone too. So, acne can really influence your confidence, unfortunately. So, especially as a teenager, you really building your sense of, personality and self worth. So, really sucks when your skin's bad. So for me, it wasn't great being a naturopath and suffering from bad skin, because you're advising people on their health and you feeling like they're judging you for having, breakouts. And even though I was healthy and tried like a million things under the sun in terms of skincare and dietary changes as well. I just didn't get it right. So it wasn't until I brought together the combination of good skincare and ticking all of the boxes internally in terms of getting my hormones under control, supporting my liver and my digestive system, getting my adrenals sorted, and also building up my nutrient levels that were really depleted from long term. Really was low in zinc, and follow a vegetarian diet to this day. I'm 38, nearly 37 currently, and vegetarian diets do tend to be lacking in zinc somewhat. So that combined with, hormonal issues and pregnancy also depleted my levels for zinc over time. And so it took me a little while to replenish that and build that up. But that combined with Fem21 to support my liver and my hormones really made a huge difference in terms of the severity and frequency of my breakouts. So with patients, with this recent patient, and quite often I'll recommend some dietary changes. And the first thing that I would suggest eliminating from the diet, especially if you're consuming a lot of it, is dairy. Now, dairy can be a real driver for acne and skin issues in a lot of people. Um, it can just interfere with how your body is metabolizing fats and drives inflammation in the immune system. And I would also look at, ensuring that you're drinking enough good quality water every day. So you want to be having at least, 2 liters of filtered water. Skincare is really important too. So bacterial balance on the skin is, there's like a fine line. You don't want, just like in the gut, you don't want an overgrowth of bad bacteria on the skin. And certainly an overgrowth of bad bacteria on the skin can contribute to more cluster breakouts and a lot of inflammation. So essentially the bacteria gets into the pores, it gets infected, and then that tends to spread from one pore to the next. So when we're looking at controlling bacteria, we don't want to use completely products that knock all bacteria from the skin, because having a healthy balance of good bacteria on the skin allows the skin to maintain its pH levels efficiently. And that's really important for healing time and the integrity of the skin, that barrier, and also ensuring healthy levels of bacteria on the skin will ensure long term that we're maintaining a healthy ecology there. So if you're getting these sort of cluster breakouts, you really want to look at what the source for bacteria might be. So in this case that I saw today, it was somebody that was wearing hats, really like every day, very often, and not washing their hats. So I used the scenario for women, which is that how are you washing your hair, how often are you changing your pillow slips, are you using wearing hats a lot, or headbands that may be housing bacteria that's contributing to breakouts on the hairline or on the forehead. The other thing to consider is the order of washing your face, and washing your hair too. So I usually recommend washing your face morning and night with a non-comedogenic cleanser. If you're washing your face at night, doing it twice, so doing a double cleanse. And also washing your face after you've washed your hair and conditioned your hair too, because you don't want any of those products, hanging around in the hairline and coming down, into the skin to contribute to breakouts. So if you're dealing with bacteria and you've eliminated, those sources where you feel like it's coming from, a simple thing that you can do at home to just bring that balance back for bacteria is a hot tea tree compress with tea tree oil. Now, I wouldn't recommend using antibacterial products like tea tree or whatever else too often. I would maybe only do it like once or twice a week if you're having an issue, or when you're having an issue. So that process is, hot water in a bowl, like boiling water, let it cool down, put 10 drops of straight tea tree oil, and then a clean face washer into that, warm to hot water, whatever's tolerable there for you. Squeeze that out, and then just gently apply that onto the skin. Lay it over your face, press it in, and the heat opens up the pores. The tea tree gets in, kills off that bacteria. And so it just helps you to maintain that balance a little bit more efficiently. And try not to touch your face too much through the day. Picking also can introduce bacteria into more pores. So just be mindful about keeping tabs on that. Now, when it comes to zinc supplementation, I usually recommend taking 1 milligram of equivalent zinc per kilo of body weight. So if you're sitting around 60 kilos, you would maybe have 60 milligrams of zinc per day. You can have a little bit extra if you're deficient, so you can do like an extra 25%. So that might be ranging, to 75 to 80 milligrams of equivalent zinc per day. Now, zinc stores can take a little while to build up because it's used in so many different systems of the body. And so just be mindful when you building your zinc, it's not going to happen like straight away. So once you've built your levels up, you can then go off it. It's not something you need to take long term, but once your levels are built up, and you can check through like blood tests and body signs and symptoms to show what your status for zinc is. And then you can take it as needed. So if you're feeling a bit run down, if you've been a bit more stressed, if you've been getting sick, frequently, then going back onto another course of zinc just to top your levels back up. Now, some body signs and symptoms to look out for to check on your zinc stores are things like white spots on the nails, also hair falling out a lot, poor healing time, so like cuts and bruises that are taking a long time to heal can indicate that you're lacking in zinc. Another interesting one is a dulling of senses. So in terms of like taste and smell and sound and touch. So if you feel like you're not as sensitive, sensitive, then you could be lacking in zinc. Zinc also is not just important for the skin, but like I mentioned, for a lot of systems of the body. But it's super important when you're dealing with treating hormonal acne. The other thing that you really want to look after is your liver and gut health. So your liver plays such an important role in metabolizing hormones and keeping your blood clean, your body detoxified from chemicals and other pollutants and stresses on the body, and ensuring efficient elimination of your bowels is also really important to support the liver and that toxic load on your system too. And so when it comes to liver support, there's some really great herbs that help with that, such as like St. Mary's thistle and dandelion. Rosemary can also be really good as well. Schisandra another herb. In Fem21, we include St. Mary's thistle and dandelion and rosemary for liver support, which is great. And having a healthy amount of fiber as well in the gut and a good bacterial balance in the gut too is important. And so healthy fibers from fruits and vegetables, plant-based fibers, which give you a combination of soluble and insoluble fiber, which is important for eliminating efficiently through the bowels and also maintaining a healthy mucosal membrane. And probiotics as well are really important for gut health, of course. But for skin, especially really inflamed skin, a specific type of probiotic called Lactobacillus rhamnosus, or LGG, is really good for inflammation in the skin. So if you've got a history of eczema, asthma, atopic inflammatory conditions, then LGG is the go-to probiotic for you. And having probiotics with fiber ensures that they re-inoculate your bowel with good bacteria, and it's self-sustaining so that we can keep that microbiome healthy, which is so important for our hormone balance as well, and just keeps everything ticking along, because we don't want to become too constipated or sluggish in our bowels, because that certainly affects nutrient absorption and toxin removal, waste removal. So keeping that all ticking along nicely is really important for our overall health and makes a huge difference to our skin health too. But in terms of looking after your skin, it's really a combination of what you're doing internally as well as externally. Fem21 is so great for supporting a variety of systems from hormones, liver, and gut, which is really important for our skin health. But there are other things that you can do in terms of dietary changes and topical support as well that help with acne, hormonal acne. So yeah, please check us out. If you've got any questions, please get in touch. I'm happy to help. If you would like a more specific plan for you drawn up, then please also look into my naturopathic consultations. I have heaps of experience with working with people with acne and come from that place of trying a lot of things myself. to that make a difference. And yeah, I'm so happy that after all these years, I've finally gotten on top of it. But yeah, it can be a long-term journey for people, and really figuring out what's right for you is important, because what works for one person may not necessarily work for the next. And there's so much stuff out there in terms of skincare products and treatments for skin, but really looking after your body internally is a huge, huge part of the equation. So yeah, Fem21, zinc, water, diet, all a really good place to start for looking after your body internally, to ensure that your skin reflects your good health externally.